How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Windy City Digits. Rough one tonight. Uh, Bulls lose tonight to the Orlando Magic 108-107. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. I'm Coach Carl, and Vic, my normal broadcast partner, is out tonight. Quick shout out to Vic. For those of you who haven't followed on Twitter, Vic welcomed the birth of his son this week, so he's going to be out for a little while, but he'll try to join us when we can. So hopefully the usual cast of characters over here tonight. Skulks, what's going on, brother? Wow, there's a lot to unpack here tonight. Zach, first of all, was awful tonight. Let me pull up the stats here, and there's no other way to put it. He was awful. Zach tonight was 1 for 14, 7% from the field. Total of 4 points. Vic, what's going on? Thanks for joining in. 1 for 14 was Zach tonight, and a minus 19. So that didn't help. I mean, DeMar picked up the slack, scored 41 points, but you almost would have been better off if Zach didn't play tonight. So that part was a little bit brutal tonight. The other part I think also is that's frustrating to me, and Skokes and Vic are here, right? The other part that's frustrating to me is, I mentioned this to Vic during the game. Orlando moves the ball. Like they seem to move the ball on offense until they get the right matchup. For us, it seems to be the ball gets into Zach's hands, the ball gets into DeMar's hands, and it doesn't seem to leave. And that's why I think they got to such a big lead, because it forced the Bulls to play defense. We don't force other teams to play defense. It's a lot of standing around, not a lot of screens. Everyone's just kind of watching DeMar and Zach, almost like early Jordan years, right? Where everyone kind of stood around, watched Michael. And until everyone else got involved and understood they had to participate in the offense, that's when they started to have some success, right? They got to move the ball a little bit more. It's not enough. Look, DeMar scored 41. A lot of that was in the third and fourth quarter, but it's that lineup that came back. It was DeMar, it was Dragic, it was Javante, it was Drummond. That lineup was moving the ball, and that's where I think we miss Lonzo, because the ball's, man, Vic, you're all over the place, dude. When Lonzo comes back, I think that's the thing that kind of settles this team. Like, there's no question, like, Lonzo's bringing the ball up every single time and the ball's going to move. Right now, Io doesn't have that. I don't know if it's just not the respect or whatever the case is, but Io, like, they don't let him bring the ball up, Oh, man. I never thought I would see Vic ever mention trade Zach. Yeah. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about tonight. The second thing I did want to talk about, how Zach, look, he just looked like he had no legs. He had no lift on his jump shot. Almost every single one of his shots was short tonight. Almost everything hit the front rim. He wasn't running on the break. He didn't get out on he didn't get out there on the wings. Io was the only one that kind of ran the break, and then no one ran with him. It wasn't until like Javante got into the game when we started to move the ball around, right? We'll go off Skulks, of course. Look, I just think that, look, his legs, say what you want, like he rest, but 1 for 14. You watch his shots, and he was 0 for 5 from 3, right? All of his shots were short tonight. And any jump shooter will tell you it's all starting from the legs. It's got to start from the legs. And if you can't, you don't have any, your legs underneath you, the shots are not going to be there, so everything was short tonight. Let's see. The other part I think I did want to talk about tonight also is the coaching is Billy Donovan. Some of this now has to fall on Billy Donovan, right? Um, you know, I don't get why he didn't play Javante in the first half. That's part I'm a little, kind of bothered with. In the fourth quarter, you had a lineup that was rolling. And then you insisted in putting Zach back in the game and Vooch into that lineup. Um, when Drummond and Dragic and Javante and DeMar were out there rolling along, and they made that comeback. And you got Zach back into the game. He took a three that was short, um, forced us to fall down by like 5 or 7, I think it was. Um, just wasn't moving well out there, So is now a 4-game losing streak, right? Um, and uh, it's tough to watch now. Like the other part of it too is like this is just not a fun team to watch. The first half of the game was the first quarter and there was just no energy, no life, no nothing. Mikey, thanks for joining in, man. Thanks for checking in. There was just no life at all. And that's why I was kind of surprised that he didn't play Javante in the first half. Because that's your energy guy. That's the guy that's going to bring you some life, right? Yeah, Mikey, I was thinking the same thing. I had the headline all written that Javante Green and the Bulls beat the Magic tonight, and I had to rewrite it at the last second with that last shot. Look, Vooch has to hit one of those throws, right? He absolutely has to hit one of those free throws, but I'm not putting this on Vooch. They finally got the ball down to Vooch tonight. I mean, look, he didn't shoot great. It was only 5 for 13 for 38%. Only scored 14 points, but it was a +9. He did have 7 assists, 16 rebounds, 3 blocks. So Vooch was contributing to the game, right? So I can't get mad at Vooch. I mean, sure, you want him to hit one of those 2 free throws at the end, but there was a lot of other, start with Zach and kind of work your way down, right? Drummond played, I thought, a strong game tonight. Dragic again played a strong game again tonight, I thought. Just kind of going through the numbers here. 46% from the field, 23% from 3, which is not good. Kobe White came in for 4 minutes tonight. So I don't know. I don't know what Billy is going to have to do. I've seen some things on Twitter while it's still up and running. While Patrick Williams didn't play terrible tonight, he still played tentative again, right? I mean, he gave you 12 points tonight, 3 for 5 from the field, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, right? Gave you 7 rebounds. So his numbers are starting to go up. He's starting to contribute a little bit more, but he's still too tentative to finish a game. So the questions now come up, do you start Javante over Patrick? Can Patrick give you a little bit more on that second team? Do you start Dragic over Ayo? Ayo had a pretty good game, 6 for 8 from the field. He was pushing the ball 50% from 3, but only 2 assists. And you need your starting point guard to be handling the ball and to kind of distribute a little bit more, right? Vic, I have no idea what you're talking about with trades. So do you have a suggestion on a trade there, buddy? I don't know who you trade. I mean, literally, like, are you trading Patrick Williams now, right? Are you trading Vooch? You're not going to get anything for Vooch. You probably aren't going to get a whole lot for Patrick Williams, and nothing that'll help you this year, right? If you're going to trade these guys, it's pretty much going to be for draft picks. I doubt you're going to get, any players in return that are going to, yeah, Skulks, totally agree. Right. Totally agree. He had that one open shot in the corner, and then he decided to hesitate and he got called for the travel on that. He's got to be more aggressive in the fourth quarter. If he wants to finish games and he wants to be, want us to be part of this, rotation, one of the big 3, or big four, he's got to be more aggressive. He's got to be more confident in his abilities. So I don't know. I don't know what you do as far as trades, right? I mean, I, I'm not trading Javante. I don't think I'm trading Derrick Jones Jr. Right? I'm not trading Io. The guys that people want to trade are Vooch, right? Maybe Vooch. You're not trading DeMar. You're not trading Zach. Um, as terrible of a start he's had to the season, that's you sign him to the max contract. That's your centerpiece for the next couple years, next 5 years to be exact. That's the guy that's supposed to be your centerpiece. And when your centerpiece of your lineup, your max contract guy, your $200 million guy shoots 1 for 14 and goes minus 19 for the game, you're going to lose. You're going to lose the game. I don't care who else is playing, right? Your max contract guy, your $200 million guy goes 1 for 14 from the field. You're going to lose that game. And tonight it just looked like Zach was just forcing everything, right? You can't trade him, Vic. He's got the max contract. No one can take on that No one can take on that contract. Without I mean, you basically would have to trade contract for contract. No one's going to trade a max guy for a max guy. Vic, man, you you used to accuse me of being the Zach hater all the time, right? And I kept telling you, right? I don't know if he's worth the max. I don't know if he's worth the max. I kept saying that. I don't know if he's a max player. I get why they did it, but I kept telling you, I don't know if he's a max guy, right? So, but again, you can't trade him. You're stuck with him. You got to trade contract. NBA works differently, right? You got to trade money, the same money so you got to get, if you're going to trade Zach, you got to get $200 million back somehow. Some teams, that's their whole team. So the only way you're going to trade him is like if you trade a max contract for a max contract, like you trade him for like Vic, man, I think you're sleep deprived. I think that your new son is causing you to lose some sleep. Or you're just doing this to piss me off, one of the two. So, look, it's a frustrating night. They lose 4 in a row. It's a tough way to lose tonight. You had a chance to win it. All you had to do was hit one of those 2 free throws. Great comeback. It wipes out, it shouldn't take away from what Javante did tonight, but that's all you're going to think about. All you're going to remember is how they lost this game. And you're going to remember Zach's 1 for 14. You're not going to remember how well Javante played in this game. And here's the other thing. I don't know if you guys noticed this tonight. I texted this to Vic earlier tonight. It seemed like there were a lot of empty seats tonight. Like, I haven't seen that many empty seats on the TV screen in a while. Right? Skulks, totally agree. He's got to hit one of those throws. Right? Overall, I thought he had an impact in the game. It wasn't the greatest shooting night, but he did get you 16 rebounds, did have you 7 assists, right? Did give you 3 blocks. So he gave you something, right? Yet another double, but he's definitely got hit one of those 2 throws, right? And that's another thing. That's the other thing on Billy Donovan, right? Billy's got to draw up a play to get the ball to DeMar or Dragic or Io or one of those guys. That's the bottom line. He's got to drop a play to get one of those guys. I get that Vooch is the safety outlet, right? I get that part of it, right? But you've got to drop a play to get the ball to him, right? Again, going back to the Jordan era, right? If the game was close, you drew up a play. Somehow Jordan was going to get the ball, right? Didn't happen tonight. So frustrating, right? Vooch needed to hit one of those 2 throws. Maybe we're in overtime. Maybe we win the game outright. Got to give it up to Suggs for hitting that shot, right? So, man, aren't you going to the game? Weren't you supposed to go to the game next week? Right? Man, you are one pissed off Bulls fan tonight, dude. Um, yeah, so frustrating night. Um, Bulls drop it tonight by one. 108, 107, I think was the final score, right? Did I get that right? Yeah, 108, 107. So anyone wants tickets, anyone looking tickets for a Bulls game, Vic's got some to sell for the December 26th game. So anyone who wants tickets, feel free to join in. Um, so just to let you guys know, our regular followers, if you haven't a chance, I know you guys are all hitting the like button, hit the subscribe. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast or in the stream, Vic is going to be out for a little while here. Congratulations to Vic and his beautiful wife, Katie. They just welcomed in the birth of their son earlier this week. I got to see them yesterday and meet the little guy. Everyone's looking great. Well, maybe Vic could use a shower, but everyone else is great. Everyone else is looking great. The kid looks good. If I had to guess right now, he's probably going to be a stretch 4, maybe a 3. If I get a chance to work with him and teach him to shoot, I definitely think he's got a chance to be a good stretch 4. So, but I'm going to try to keep up the regular schedule. We'll do a post game after the Bears game on Sunday. I will anyway. I'll do a Bears post game. Bulls don't play again until Monday night. I'll probably do another live stream weekly wrap up sometime this weekend, maybe tomorrow. So pay attention to Twitter and YouTube. We'll follow up. And anyone that's following the Twitter saga, if you haven't had a chance yet, just in case Twitter does go down, make sure you keep checking us out on YouTube and also on our Facebook page. Follow us there. I'm going to try to see if I can create a Instagram page to kind of keep you guys in the loop. So listen, we do appreciate all of you that tune in and watch us. I know we've been off for a week, but we do appreciate everyone's been watching us. Thanks again for tuning in for tonight's post game, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace, love, and digits.